Here now to analyze the 2024 presidential race with me is journalist and host of the Megyn Kelly Show and podcast, Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly, my very, very dear friend, Megyn Kelly, is here. So, Megyn, before you jump into this Nikki Haley thing, I've been on this for a while. She won't even come on the show anymore. She's so mad at me. But take a listen to Nikki Haley's reaction to DeSantis dropping out, and she somehow is making this about her being a woman. Listen.
He ran a great race. He's been a good governor, and we wish him well. Having said that, it's now one fella and one lady left. So there were 14 people in this race. There were a lot of fellas. All the fellas are out, except for this one. And this comes down to, what do you want? Do you want more of the same, or do you want something new?
Well, Megyn, let's talk a little bit about this. You know, Nikki Haley's finally got what she's really been pushing for, a two-person race. Your thoughts?
I don't think you're wrong about that Democrats and neocons thing on Nikki Haley. And there's a fair amount of Republicans who would consider themselves neocons and who would say, yeah, that's correct, and we are supporting Nikki Haley. But the question is that enough of a constituency in order to actually get the nomination in today's Republican Party? And there's absolutely no evidence that it is. You know, she wants something new. Is that Nikki Haley? She's a new generation. She's right about that. She's not the same generation as Trump. But is she new, or is she very much like George W. Bush? You know, is she sort of the modern day embodiment of policies that Republicans have largely moved away from? Not all of them, but the party as a whole is Trump's party. And it became Trump's party and a MAGA party for a reason. It was a rejection of the Bush approach to foreign policy and donor classes and so on. So I don't think she's wrong that she's a new generation. It's just of what, you know, yes, age and age alone. You seem to be representing the past in a lot of other ways. She does the thing with the woman here and there. You know, she doesn't do it as much as a Democrat would, but she does find a way of bringing it up here and there, like both in her campaign announcement, in what she played last night. And I think she said, may the best woman win, something like that. She added to it. So it's a little footsie with the fact that she's the only woman. I get it. I don't think most people will be offended by it, but I would say I never want to run for office. But if I were ever running for office as a Republican, I would not touch it. I would not be calling any attention to it, because Republicans have had it up to here with identity politics. And in the same way, like, you didn't hear Tim Scott mentioning his race at every rally. You shouldn't hear the woman mentioning her gender here at the big pivotal moments. It's just, we don't play those games. We don't want it being used against us. We don't want to use it for us. We want to move away from the world in which it's even relevant.
So identity politics. She may have played the gender card, but Nikki Haley's also played the race card. Take a listen to this one.
We were the only Indian family in our small southern town. I was teased every day for being brown. So anyone that wants to question it can go back and look at what I've said on how hard it was to grow up in the deep South as a brown girl.
So MK, there's two boxes. And again, you point out conservatives have had it up to here with liberals and Democrats just using that race card and using the identity politics nonstop.
I mean, I think I didn't hear the rest of this. It's by that Dasha Burns reporter on NBC who's been so annoying with Vivek. But I usually when Nikki Haley raises that, she spins it to, but I can tell you, America's not a racist country. There's still some racism, but we're not a racist country. So I don't know how that ended, but I know in general, when she brings up race, she uses it to defend the country, which is something that gets her in trouble with leftists. They don't like that landing. They want her to stay in the poor me, we're all racists. So I don't know how that lands, but I do think in trying to win over a Republican audience, you would have a different message. And the thing about Nikki Haley is all of her messaging has been targeted toward Democrats and independents in New Hampshire, which is great for president of New Hampshire. You know, like, that's not what she's running for. Like, she's trying to get the Republican nod, the nomination, which requires a much wider audience of support than just the people in New Hampshire. And like so far, all of her messaging seems targeted to this group. You saw what she did with the trans issue last week, where she wouldn't say that a man cannot become a woman. I mean, this is like the easiest question. You know, I'm the one who asked that question to Trump. I didn't like his answer on it either, but at least he did better than she did. You could tell he was just kind of uncomfortable. And he's a 77-year-old guy. We all know what Trump thinks is the answer to that question. I don't know about Nikki Haley because she's legislated in a way that may support a more liberal bent on this when she was governor of South Carolina. And while, you know, I'm one of the few right-leaning people, I think, right now who's not a neocon, who's open-minded to Nikki Haley, I hit her publicly because it was a terrible, terrible answer. And she's getting me nervous on the trans issue. Very.
How about the illegals issue? She said they're not criminals, and by definition, they are. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where this support is coming from, especially when you have both senators from South Carolina, her home states, Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, endorsing Trump. You have the governor, McMaster, endorsing Trump. It's got to be coming from somewhere. Trump thinks it's coming from dark money donors. Take a listen.
Nikki Haley, state director in New Hampshire. This is a very bad one. Listen carefully. Tyler Clark. Did anyone ever hear of him? He was a lobbyist for the 1630 Fund, which is managed by Arabella Advisors, which is the largest Democrat dark money network in the country and considered public enemy #1. That's who's managing her campaign. Does that tell you something, perhaps?
So listen. Clearly Trump's, it's his to lose. But the concern is if Democrats are supporting a candidate on the Republican side through donors, through dark money, through switching parties to vote. I mean, at some point, as a conservative, you have to be concerned about that candidate, no?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, look, I don't think Nikki Haley's going to win New Hampshire. Like, I'm open-minded to seeing what she does there, but he's beating her now, the latest polls, by some 20 points. And there's only been like an outlier poll with a C+ rating and one CNN poll that showed it within 7. But that outlier poll with a C+ rating showed them tied. But that was before DeSantis dropped out. The polls show that the vast majority of those voters will go to Trump, not to Nikki Haley. Could she pull her out of a hat and win New Hampshire? I suppose. But it's not going to be meaningful, Eric. I understand Trump's got to turn his ire on her. She's the last one there. So why wouldn't he until he takes care of Joe Biden and she's not bailing out. So, okay, it's on. And she's taking shots at him too. But even if she wins New Hampshire, she's got no chance in her home state, which is next. And you got to win your home state. And then we go to Super Tuesday where she's not looking good in any of those states. So I'm not sure whether I'd be treating her like a real threat if I were Trump.
Do you think Trump's choice for VP matters?
Not really. No. I don't think he's going to add to his constituency considerably. Like people say, and I understand this argument, you pick her, it's a way of reaching out to the moderates and those suburban soccer moms who don't like Trump. They don't like his rhetoric and so on. And that is a concern. Trump has to win this election, not just for the country, but for himself. Like he really does, given what's happening to him with the lawfare. So I could see a calculating man say, who gives me the best chances of winning the general? And I think I can convince my people to swallow it, even if they're not happy. I don't think poor MAGA is going to stay home just because he picks a VP who they don't like. They love Trump too much, and they love the country too much to let it stay 4 more years with Joe Biden. So I could see him doing it.
I got to go, Megyn, but can I ask you this? I really respect Ron DeSantis for doing what he did. I know he wanted it. He wanted to go forward. He's a great governor here. And I think what he did and the way he announced and then immediately threw his support behind Trump really opened him up as the leading contender for 2028. Final thought?
I think it was a classy move by DeSantis. He owed it to his supporters to stay through Iowa, where he had put all of his resources and their money, frankly, and the effort of his team on the ground there for a long, long time. So he got the results in Iowa. It was a no. And he accepted reality and is doing his best right now to unite the party, which is what is necessary. A lot of money has been spent on that campaign. And that could have been directed at Joe Biden. I understand the frustration of the Trump supporters, but that's not the process. You get to run in a primary. It's not just Trump's. It's not a coronation. They made him fight for it. They probably made Trump better as a result of DeSantis's candidacy. And it's not going to be long now before the whole party coalesces behind him.
Very good. Very good hearing from you again. My good friend Megyn Kelly, thank you for joining us. Folks, don't forget, you must do this. You have to catch Megyn's show. It's available on SiriusXM and also YouTube. If you want to be up to speed on not just politics, culture, and everything else going on, celebrity, she's got it wrapped. Thank you, Megyn. Appreciate your time.
See you soon.